Hello everyone and welcome back to another M19 draft video. As you may notice, this is again a video with post commentary where I kind of go over the the regular commentary, the real life commentary, where I just cut that out and just add some post recording commentary to the video. And that's mainly because I talk about some stuff that is not really relevant at the time when the video goes up, because I recorded this video I guess like 2 weeks ago or something like that, and it's just not really relevant. So I thought by myself, thought to myself, like, I might as well do a re-recording of the commentary and talk about more relevant stuff, right? And it also gives me an opportunity to talk about the many mistakes I make in this video, because this draft, it wasn't, if not for the results and no spoilers, it would have been terrible, honestly. Anyway, here we have an Alpine Moon as a rare, which in the set itself basically is a one-mana enchantment that has no text on it. And I get really annoyed and upset and frustrated by the fact that the Wizards continuously chooses to print potential modern sideboard card or potential eternal sideboard cards in their rare slot of random sets. This is... like, it used to be that you opened up a booster and thought by yourself, well, I hope to get an awesome rare. I'm kind of excited to see the rare. But nowadays, when you open a booster, you kind of hope that your rare is not a blank. And I'm going to talk about that maybe later. It's just enough for now. Here I take the Take Vengeance. I should have gone for the Fiery Finish, I think. Because, let's be real here, that's basically 6 mana destroy target creature. I mean, 7 damage to any creature is more than enough to kill. I don't think there's anything in the set that just survives that on its own. Of course, if your opponent has like a combat trick, like the +2/+2 and flying, or +4/+4, of course, then it might just survive. But in almost every other card, it's 6 mana destroy target creature, which is not the best in and of itself, but it's there. I opted to go for the Take Vengeance in pack 1 and pack 2. And here is, here I just made I think this was really super pick by me. I went for the Essence Scatter here. I did highlight the sleep and talk about how the card is awesome and can just blow people out. And I don't know why, but I ended up taking the Essence Scatter. And it really should have been Sleep. Sleep is such a powerful card in Limited. I mean... it almost basically guarantees you 2 attacks without any opposition. It is just a blowout. If there's a board stall, you can just use the sleep to end the game. Alright, here I highlight the Departed deck, and I'm actually going quite full of this card. I mean, it's a 2/2 for 2 mana that's really fragile. It's not fragile as some of the illusion cards. I mean, they have to be sacrificed not only if they're targeted by a spell, but also by abilities. And this card does survive abilities. Still, it's a 2/2 fragile for 2 mana that is unblockable and can make other dudes unblockable. However, I was kind of hoping to go for the artifact archetype, and ended up going for the Skilled Animator, because the card has blown me out a few times, and I really wanted to see if I could do something similar. In a vacuum, I think I should have gone with the Departed deckhand, but what do I know? I ended up going with the Animator. I talk a bit about the tapland here. This is not really the point where you want to be taking taplands, I think, because the taplands tend to go rather late. At least that is my experience. So you can pick them up like in pack 2, pack 3, or whatever. You don't have to prioritize them. But I ended up taking Switcheroo. That's also a nice solid spell. Exchange control to 2 target creatures. It seems like... it doesn't seem like much, because there are, of course, times where you're not really in a position to uptrade, like exchanging your creature for a better creature that your opponent has. But we'll see later in the draft that there are actually quite some situations where Switcheroo is just plain awesome. Alright, here I highlight the Manalith. I think I'm gonna take that here. Yeah. I mean, it's a mana rock. Sure, it allows you to splash things. Sure, it gets animated by Animator. Awesome. So let's just go for that. But yeah, so far not the best of starts. I mean, yes, there is the semblance of a deck starting to shape, but I think if, as far as the archetypes go in this set, like the 2-color archetypes, you want to jump on the bandwagon as soon as possible. And at this point, well, we picked our first artifact by pick 6. We haven't really been signaling towards the people on our left, like, at all. So at this point in time, it's quite interesting to see what we're gonna get and how we're gonna fare. I mean, at this point we're kind of unfocused. All right, so here is just one card that really is for us. Although, of course, we do have the Manolith. We can go for a splash, but none of these cards are really worth splashing for. And I mean, Declare Dominance and Havoc Devils, those are both like double color, and you don't want to splash double color. And the enchant satyr, well, we don't have any enchantments, not really worth it. So I end up picking this Frilled Sea Serpent. 6 mana 4/6 is just fine. It blocks like a lot in the set. It is really expensive though. For 6 mana you can also have a 6/5 in black or a 6/6 trample in green. But hey, this guy can get unblockable. It can get in for quite some damage. So I'm not unhappy to take it. Again, this is not a card that you want to prioritize. You know, if you can pick it up late in the draft, that's totally fine. But early, not so much. Alright, just one card for us here. Totally lost. Do have to say here, in hindsight here, red does seem to be open. Or quite open. And the Volley Veteran, that's quite a good dude. There are quite some goblins in the set. And Volley Veteran is just a really awesome Firefist setup in that regard. Or actually just tribe shifted. Plus, being at 4 mana instead of 5 is actually quite relevant. I ended up going for the Totally Lost to stay on color. And this is the pack we started with. Of course, Alpine Moon is still in the pack. Nobody wants an Alpine Moon, right? Nobody. I guess it's fine for the people who are looking to play, I don't know, Dragon's Crowd plays 1 or 2 in the sideboard. But yeah, it's just a literal dead card in the set, in this set. Alright, we picked up a Lockstone Linebreaker, 3 mana, 3/2 vanilla. It's not great, but it fills up the curve. And here I take a Field Creeper, 2 mana, vanilla, 2/1. It's not good, it's not great, but it's an early dude, and it becomes 5/5 with Skilled Animator. Play your Field Creeper on turn 2, Animator on turn 3, and you attack with a 5/5. That's pretty awesome. Alright, so here I think we pick up a second Field Creeper. And for now I just put it in the sideboard. I do like the play that I just described, but how often are you gonna get that? And Field Creeper, it's not one of the, on its own, it's not one of the most exciting 2-drops. It's actually a pretty bad one, honestly. Especially if you don't have any other real artifact payoff. So here we just pick some random stuff. Infernal Reckoning, basically the last non-land card. You know, as far as the underwhelming rares go, like you have Alpine Moon for this set, it just feels like it's a rare card, but it feels like a bad uncommon. Just like the card, the 1 mana instance in white that exiles a 1-drop. That also feels like a really bad uncommon card. Remorseful Cleric also really doesn't feel like a rare card, honestly. It doesn't have the feel of a rare card. Interesting to note at this point, we could have had a second Fiery Finish. But yeah, we opted to go Azorius instead of Red X. But Infernal Reckoning does something that black, you know, basically doesn't. First of all, it exiles, which kind of is a new gimmick for black. But it deals with colorless creatures. It deals with artifact creatures specifically. And if you look at black's history, like Terror or Go for the Throat, all of these don't deal with artifact creatures. And Infernal Reckoning does specifically deal with artifacts. Anyway, we picked up an Ether Shield Artificer and I put in the back the second Field Creeper. I mean, that's a nice 1-2 punch. Field Creeper into Artificer, make your Field Creeper a 4-3 indestructible on the attacks. That's pretty okay. And I think I picked up the Shield Mare at this point. I mean, it's a 2-3, which is fine in and of itself. It's unblockable against certain decks, and it does gain you some life. So all in all, it's a really nice 3-drop. But yeah, to be honest, I think in hindsight, I wouldn't have tried to move into the archetype of UW artifacts with this draw. That was basically a mistake, I think. Anyway, let's stop my ranting about you know, the stupid mistakes I did or made, and the just the problems I have with the set design, especially of Core 19, but also of, you know, some of the other past sets. Let's just focus more on what we actually do here, what we actually achieve here. All right, so we do have a few interesting picks here in this set. In this pack. Mirror Image is, you know, when I first saw the card, I was kind of like, meh, but I think in the end, it's a pretty solid card. But I do go for the Angel of the Dawn. It's a 5-mana 3/3 flyer, and it pumps your team, which is pretty okay. I do notice here the Star Crowned Stack, which I just love that card. Honestly, I love it. It's a 4-mana 3/3. It allows you to attack through things, allows you to be nice and aggressive. I just really like it. So I'll pick it here over the mini cryptic commands, where you counter a creature spell and draw a card. Over a third Field Creeper. I mean, I guess 2 is fine if you have an Animator and an Artificer, but I mean, a third is just, it's just too much. Nightly Velar I do like. That's it's actually pretty nice enchantment. It's really expensive though, but if you have FPO for either Knights, enchantments, or going white, then it's a really nice card. I'm actually not really sure what I take here. I think I go in the end for the Invoke. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of artifacts and enchantments running out there, and I feel that Invoke is actually main deckable, just like in Dominaria. I think I picked the Gallant Cavalry here. I mean, Gallant Cavalry was one of my favorites white cards in Dominaria, and Gallant Cavalry, it's just a better version, to be honest. I mean, the fact that one of your dudes is not a token makes it so much more resilient to bounce spells. And if you go with black instead of white, I mean, of course you can get back your wait, I said that wrong. In Boros, you could get your call back with the get the wizard with the kicker effect, where you could get back a sorcery in an instant. But here you actually have quite a bit of reanimates. That also works really well with Gallant Cavalry. Anyway, our last few picks here are the Cavalry Drill Master. We have some early drops, and the Drill Master allows us to punch through with our little guys by giving them +2/+0 on first strike. And we pick a Daybreak Chaplain because I don't think there was anything else too interesting in the pack. I put an Uncomfortable Chill in the sideboard. It's actually pretty nice against the aggressive decks, like it does buy you a turn and draws you an extra card, so it can be an actual time warp. We also have a second Sloxodon Linebreaker in the sideboard. I'm not a fan of the vanilla 3-mana 3/2s, but they do fill up the curve like I mentioned earlier. And if you're low on dude, and for example if you manage to get like the control deck, then every creature is basically a threat, so that's fine. Alright, just pick up the Tolarian Scholar just because it's in our colors. Let's see what the next bunch of cards are. Just some bad stuff. Well, just pick up a second Field Creeper over the +1/+7. +1/+7, it just feels a bit awkward. I mean, you have to keep a creature back first of all for it to really matter. I think it's better. It's a combo trick that's more suited on the defense than on the offense. But what maybe that would push it over the top. But I would really like to have seen that it's untapped a creature, like basically just like a mini fork or something. Like, oh, you're attacking with your big dude. Yeah, I'm just untapping my creature, and I'm blocking. Alright, the obligatory red spell that's way too expensive to use. Interesting to note, we see a third fiery finish. I think that's the other one we saw that wield. But here we have an interesting choice to make. We have Arcane Encyclopedia, a Gargoyle Sentinel, both of which work fine with Skill Animator, and the Sentinel also works quite nicely with the Artificer if you're willing to put 3 mana into it and lose the Defender. But then I'm going for the Encyclopedia, just drawing cards. Second Encyclopedia, so kind of regretting my pick here. For some reason I'm just ignoring Sargon, which is sad. Just really sad. And I think I just take the third Take Vengeance here. We're kind of low. We're not really low on removal. I mean, we have double Take Vengeance in Essence Scatter, but I may have wanted to go for the Scholar, just the 3/2 for 4 that draws us a card. I mean, we do have 4 artifacts, right? So it should draw us a card many times, or quite a few times. Let's put it like that. That would have had some merit. Alright, here I look at Explosive Apparatus. For some reason I'm ignoring the second Shield Mirror. There's also a Sky Scanner, which does work nicely with Animator and Artificer. Interesting to note, there's again a meandering river. So that just shows that, in a lot of situations you don't have to prioritize these step lands really early. You can pick them up later on, or pick them up on their way back. They tend to wheel a lot. So in here I'm actually a bit fidgeting around because I'm not really sure how to proceed here. We do have a lot of early things, but we don't really have an end game. Is my issue at this point, and that's what I mean. In a vacuum, this draft would have not gone, not gone well. All in all, this feels like a pile of unfocused jank. For some reason, I picked the Ether Sandal over the Charge. I think with the amount of small dudes that we have, Charge does have some merit, but I end up going for the Ether Sandal mainly because I just want to try it out. It just feels, on its own, it just doesn't feel all too hot, but I've been blown out by the card a few times. Plus, getting an early dude with an Ether Tunnel on it, and if your opponent doesn't deal with it, you're just really presenting them with a real clock there. But this was just kind of opportunistic of me, and just trying to see if the card is worth anything. Although I do think that the card is more meant for the blue-green archetype, which is basically just ramp big guys and give them a form of evasion or something. Here I talk a bit about the Desecrated Tomb. They actually don't do nothing card here, because there are some cards that reanimate stuff. So that causes creatures to leave your graveyard and makes it so that it actually has some value. You can actually, if you have a few Macabre Waltzes and a Gravedigger in your deck or something, you might be able to get some 1/1s out of it, but it's just a lot of work for little payoff, I feel. Alright, I took the Omen Speaker, and here I guess I'm a bit hesitating between the Courser and the Scholar of Stars. Honestly, I feel that the pick should be Scholar of Stars here, because we have a lot of tiny dudes, and a lot of our dudes don't have power 3 or higher, right? So basically just 1. So I should really pick the Scholar of Stars, because it is a nice body. Oh, I totally forgot. I totally looked over. See, this is really stupid. I'm just doing this kind of blind. I'm just narrating things as I go, and I totally missed the Angel of the Dawn in my in this re-recording of the commentary. So yeah, I think that's a better pick there. I mean, we do also have the Sky Scanner to draw cards. We have Arcane Encyclopedia to draw cards. So Here I pick up a second ether tunnel, making some cuts. What do I pick here? The second invoke, maybe? Yeah, the second invoke. Alright, we could... Yeah, I just don't like these 1-2s for 1. I just rather have a 2-2 for 2, to be honest. And you're just more certain to have something that actually trades more favorably. Yeah, I feel that I made a mistake here. I should have gone with the Marauder's Axe instead of the Rust-Winged Falcon. I'm gonna play a Rust-Winged Falcon. Okay, Scholar on the rebound, very nice. Another deadly lost, but the +2/+0, especially if you quite a bunch of tiny dudes, and or you give them a form of evasion in the form of Ether Tunnel, you make them unblockable. That's actually quite a thing. Like even if it's just a lowly Field Creeper, you know, make it a 3/1. Unblockable, and then make it a 5/1 with the axe. That's quite a clock. Plus, it does work with the animator in a pinch. All right, just take the rare here, and I'm kind of debating if I should have 2 Ethernals in the deck. Oh wow, another Scholar came back. I'm not gonna play that. Alright, just waiting for the draft itself to end. But yeah, as far as artifacts matter, we have 5 round cards. We have 2 Field Creepers on the board now, 1 in the sideboard. We have an Encyclopedia, Manolith, and a Sky Scanner. And then we have the Animator, Artificer, and the Scholar of Stars that work off of these artifacts. Now, I feel that the big payoff cards, yes, Animator is one of them, yes, Artificer is one of them, but the 4 mana 2/4 that gets +2/+1 flying, that's one of the big ones. I mean, for a 4 mana 4/4 flyer, that's just big. That's a threat on its own. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to pick that up. And going into the games, the matches, I'm really honestly not feeling too secure here. I did cut some of the 3-drops, and here I got a Daybreak Chaplain, bringing a 3/2 back in, because let's be honest, most of our gentlemen are just tiny, and I do like to have a 3/2 in the deck. And I can always bring in, of course, the 1/3 lifelink in case we come across an aggressive deck. Honestly, I don't think I should have kept 2 Ethertons in the deck, but I really wanted to try them out, so yeah. So here we go into the first match against Skibro. I'm really not sure. And bad hand is bad. Look at this, just 1 lands out of 17, I think. And yeah. We do have a Field Creeper, we do have a Take Vengeance, we do have a Skilled Animator. So, you know, if we got to draw 2 lands here in a row, that would be awesome. I'm gonna look at this hand. Let's not be too greedy. Alright, we keep the 4-lander with a 2-drop and a removal spell. We scry another land to the bottom. And at least we have something to play early on. So lead up with an island, pass the turn back to Skibro. And he goes into a Druid of the Gale, which is kind of awkward given our 2/1, which gets blocked all day by the 1/3. But yeah, play my planes, play a Field Creeper, and pass the turn. And if you guys hear some weird noise in the background, that's just the dog sitting behind me, cleaning himself. Like, he's been craving attention all day. Alright, so they go into Dragon's Horde. Yeah, they missed a land drop here, really interesting. I guess I can forgive them keeping a hand with 2 lands, a Druid and a Dragon's Horde. So here I play a land. I think I'm gonna take vengeance the druids just to deny them the mana. Like if they're mana screwed, then removing the mana dork is basically just destroying one of their lands, right? So we do just that. Play a land, attack for 2, put our opponent to 18, and then we're gonna pass the turn. If we're lucky and they don't draw a land, then they don't have anything to play next turn, I think. Or at least it's not gonna be like threatening like a 5-drop, which they could have cast if they had a land or something. Well, here they go, Gearper Guide, which is actually a very relevant dude. I've seen a lot of people underestimate this card, but, you know, his activated ability, like target creature you control can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, is relevant in a lot of situations. It's pretty good, actually. So, drew a Sky Scanner, which is kind of okay. I mean, we do have to bridge a gap before we can cast this Angel of the Dawn. Attack with a Field Creeper, no reason not to attack. I mean, if they don't have anything, they can make their guide unblockable and just attack for 3. So we might as well offer them the trade, and they didn't do it, so they go down to 18. Play this guy, can draw an Omen Speaker and play a Plains before we pass the turn. So our opponent has 6 cards in hand. Nothing really going on. They seem unable to play anything with their 3 mana available. And here they go in for 3. Like, against a lot of decks, if they have a land screw and still a lot of cards in hand, it's actually kind of scary. Especially the green decks. Like, you know they have big dumb dudes that can smash through your creatures at any time if they're able to cast it. And if you don't really have a way to apply some real pressure, then by the time they start drawing their lands, you might just be in a heap of trouble. Alright, so here I lead up with an Omen Speaker, see what we can find on the top of our deck. Essence Scatter and Scholar of Stars. Now, going by the idea that I play a Line Breaker this turn and either Angel of the Dawn or Frilled Sea Serpent next turn, I don't really foresee myself casting Scholar real soon, so I just put that on the bottom, keep the Essence Scatter on top. And I don't know why I did that, that's just a mistake on my part. Somewhere in my head I was like, yeah, if we draw land we can cast this Sea Serpent, if we don't we can cast this Angel of the Dawn probably. And I just kept the Essence Scatter on top. And I think that wasn't really necessary. But kind of a brain fart on my part. Alternatively, I could have just go ahead and cast the Angel of Dawn here, attack with Sky Scanner and Field Creeper. I would have doubted that they cast the doubt that they would block the Field Creeper with their Druid, and then would give us an opportunity to get in there for 5, putting them to 11. But here they did find their third lands. They cast their 5 mana 5 for Fire Elemental, and that means that we are going to have an issue in punching through. Of course, we can just cast this Angel of the Dawn, attack with the Loxodon Linekeeper, but they might as well just block with a Guide. Here I go over that. Still, it does. If we play the Angel, it does mean that we can get in for 2 with the Sky Scanner. But for now, I'm just gonna check for 1 with the little Thopter, keep up Essence Scatter, I think, and yeah, keep up Essence Scatter, and wait for them to get in and hopefully just blow them out, get some real damage in with the Angel of the Dawn, forcing them back on the defense. All right, here they go, Gutter Snipe. Thought, well, might as well Essence Scatter that. I don't know if they go like Lever Axe, double cast, whatnot. Seems unlikely, but that's just a lot of damage. So I don't want none of that. I could have, of course, kept the Essence Scatter, because on one hand the Dragon's Horde does signal that they have some large dudes and or dragons. On the other hand, our opponent might just have picked the Dragon's Horde somewhere later. Maybe on the rebound, just to have a ramp spell, but again, it does signify that they have some big dude, so that there would have been some merit in just letting the gutter snipe resolve and save the essence gather for something truly scary. Alright, here I am willing to trade my field creeper for the guide. I'm gonna try to eat their mana dork, but of course they have the trick here. Although our opponent is taking their sweet time actually casting that. There we go. And the Sure Strike, you know, curiously enough, saving their guide. Well, nothing I could do about that, but sure, it's fine. So at this point I can cast the Angel of the Dawn, get in there for, let's see, for 8 damage, put our opponent to 6, or I can cast a Frilled Sea Serpent and take another turn off. I mean, as if they don't have any more combat tricks and our opponent does only have 2 cards left in their hands, they really can't attack anymore, because the Frilled Sea Serpent just kills their Fire Elemental. So I'm gonna be conservative here, attack for 5, put our opponent to 9, and play the Sea Serpent. We pass the turn, and Skipro does Skipro? I really don't know how to pronounce it. Oh my! There's a dog begging for attention behind me. Oh dear. They're taking their sweet time. I'm really tempted to say him because of the pro in their name. I'm really not sure if it's Skipro or Skibro. Anyway. They finally decide that they want to have their Siegebreaker Giant on the field. That's a big gentleman. That's quite scary. So, let's see if they attack. That's probably not right. We just killed our Fire Elemental. They get in for 3, but that doesn't really seem worth it. And indeed, they don't attack and pass the turn back to us. Alright, draw an island, so we can make our Sea Serpent unblockable if you so choose. Of course, at this point, there's no real merit to it. I'm kind of tempted to just go ahead, play the Angel of the Dawn, get in over 2 with the Sky Scanner, keep the rest back. Although I could just attack with the Lockstone Linebreaker and, you know, at least offer the trade with the guide and see if we can diminish their board a bit. I mean, in between Gipper Guide and the Siegebreaker Giant, they can make a lot of stuff unblockable. Not that they really have the mana for that, of course, but Right, here I go, Angel of the Dawn. Get the whole team +1 and Vigilance. For a moment I said like Vision, and then I had to think of the memes with with the how do you call it, with the Indian guys, like Shaboop and Vagine. Anyway, I do end up deciding to attack with the Sea Serpent as well. I mean, I think it's a fine trade. Siegebreaker Giant for the Sea Serpents, but for some reason they opted not to block there. And they go down to 2, which I feel is a risky plan here. I mean, between Sea Serpent and Angel of the Dawn, we do have them dead on board. So, a 5, 4, and a 6-3 on the attack. That's still only 11 damage, though they have shown that they have combat tricks. So I do have to be quite careful here. Plus, 6-3 trample with combat tricks, that's really a thing. That can kill you out of nowhere. But I feel fairly confident here. I would even go as far as to sack off like an Angel, you know, and keep back the Frilled Sea Serpent just to have the 4/6 back and have it unblockable. But I think I am deciding to jump the Siegebreaker with the Omen Speaker. Block the Fire Elemental with Sky Scanner. And that forces our opponent to still have 2 answers. Because both Sea Serpent and the Angel are lethal. And they have 5 mana available. If I block the Siegebreaker Giant, and let's just say that they have, even if they have like 2 Titanic Growth in hands, that's just 11 damage again. So they're just way too short of lethal here. Well, and by way, it's just off, even if they have like double combat trick here. So I'm just discussing that here in real life, or was discussing that in real life there. But yeah, let's go to blocks. Throw the Sky Scanner in front of the Fire Elemental and the Omen Speaker in front of the Siegebreaker Giant. So our opponent didn't use any combat tricks. We just threw 2 guys in front of a bus and go down to 9. And this should be the ends, as far as I'm concerned. Like, they didn't cost anything, so even if they have like a trick or something to do with one of these dudes, it's fine. Here, I go for better safe than sorry. Kill the Siegebreaker Giant and attack with both of my dudes. And their opponent is scoped. Like, apparently there was no reason to show them the Take Vengeance. Mistake on my part, I should have waited for second main phase. Because I don't think there's anything in this set that untaps a creature. Alright, so here I'm debating if I should bring something in. I kinda favor the Loxodon Linebreaker here of the Omen Speaker, because we did saw a bunch of 1/3s. And I don't want to take out the Field Creepers because of the Animator and the Artificer. But having an extra 3/2, extra 3 power dude on the board, that, or at least in the deck, feels kinda okay. I am briefly considering the Mighty Leap, but in the end I decide against it, submit the deck as it is, and you know, hope for the best, I guess. So here we have a bit of an awkward hand, 2 islands and a Manalith. We do have an Essence Killer, and I think, you know, any white source here is pretty okay. So we keep this hand, and we draw. There we go. There's step lanes. So we lead up with an island. Pass the turn back to our opponent. And there they go. Druid of the Gall, right on schedule. Second planes here, so I just dump one on the field, keep up Essence Scatter. Yep, 3/3 haste seems very counterable, so I'm like, no, you can't have that, sir. We accept our turn, Field Creeper. So at this point, I'm somewhat like, yeah, let me just play a 3/2. We don't need the Manalith at this point, so I might as well cast a 3 power dude, and maybe we can just attack and get something off the board, or just get in there for 3 damage. Alright, so they play a Dragon Sword. Got a deja vu feeling here. They play another Druid of the Gall. Look at that. So at this point they have 6 men on board, which is quite scary. We drew it totally lost, which is fine. Attack for 3. Our opponent is never going to block here, so we put them down to 17. And here I have a choice of casting another Linebreaker. I could also go Manalith into Take Vengeance, get rid of one of the Mana Dorks, or Manalith into Field Creeper, and hope we draw one of the Artifact Matters cards. So I end up deciding to go for the Creeper. I think at this point it doesn't really matter if we kill like a Mana Dork. Still with 5 mana, the green deck is pretty dangerous and they can cast a lot of their big dudes. So I'd rather just save the Take Vengeance for that. Here our opponent just goes Gutter Snipe, which basically signifies that they don't really have anything big in their hands. Like no large creatures, probably just a bunch of combat tricks or whatever. They just want to go gutter snipe and get some value, more value off of that than you would get in a vacuum. And a second Dragon's Horde. Look at that, look at that. All the ramp in the world. Alright, so here I accept my turn, draw a skilled animator. Really interesting. So, two lines I could do. I could animate the Manolith or the Field Creeper, making that a 5/5. And I think I go for the Manolith. I'm not really like certain that we need a 5th mana right now, so might as well make an extra guy. Like give this this little Manadork some more value, make it a 5/5. And we could as well just attack with both the Linebreaker and the Field Creeper alongside the Manolith here. Even if they jump or they just trade their snipe for a Linebreaker, I think that's fairly fine. A 3/2 vanilla doesn't really do anything, and a 2/2 that pings for damage. That's, well, actually a lot more scary, right? So our opponent did not block. They just took the full brunt of that attack, and we put them down to 7. They found another land. Still have 2 cards in hand, and they're already kind of notified. They already signaled that they don't really have anything too scary in their hand. No big duders to play. And here they go Lightning Strike, which is a really good one-more combo. 3 to the animator, 2 to our face, and also get rid of the 5/5 in the process. So they were quite a good draw for our opponent here. I mean, it did really stimmy our attacks here. And I'm sorry for the stuttering. Oh man. I actually restarted this post commentary already a few times, and at this point I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Let me just stutter. It's I'm not gonna start again for the umpteenth time. All right, so here I'm kind of debating with myself if an attack is really worth anything. I decided to just attack with the Loxodon Linebreaker. It's not really great. I mean, they can just block with both of the Druid, and then we just trade a Druid for the Linebreaker, and that's exactly what's going on here. But I do have the Totally Lost, so I can just put one of them on the top of their deck, and I decided against it. Like, sure, you know what? Let's have this trade. I can play another Linebreaker, and maybe bluff like a counterspell or whatever. So we played the second Linebreaker and passed the turn. Well, here they have the guide. They found their guide again. And nothing else, which really makes me wonder why they tapped one of their Druids earlier. So maybe they do have a combat trick, but they didn't want to waste it. Alright, second Field Creeper. We're not doing too hot at this point. Like, yeah, we did get quite some damage in, but we're kind of petering out here. So again, getting in there with the Linebreaker. And they offered to trade with their Gutter Snipe. We accept that. And then I go another Field Creeper. So at this point I'm basically just biding my time and hoping that we can get something that gives us you know, a much needed boost at this point to wrap the game. Meanwhile, our opponent found an Anaki Ogre, a 4/2. Aren't those guys from Sandlar? I'm really not certain. There we go, Ether Tunnel. So I go ahead, make one of our dudes a 3/1 unblockable. And I'm just really hoping that the card that our opponent has held back all this time is indeed a combat trick and not a removal spell. But our opponent doesn't respond, so we just get in there for 3 damage, put our opponent to 4. From this point onwards, they're basically on a 2-turn clock. Well, we are still at a healthy life total, and we can still trade this field creeper for an unlucky ogre if they don't have something. Alright, 6 mana, that's a lot, that's scary. And there is the fiery finish. Kinda awkward for us. But hey, what can you do? So, we lose our 3-1 unblockable. Opponent, for some reason, chose not to attack. I mean, at the very least, I would have attacked with the Druid of the Cowl. If we had a combat trick, it would have gotten out of our hand, right? Otherwise, you get in for 1. You don't need the 1-3 at this point. We do find an Angel of the Dawn, which is very, very nice. That's a 3-power flyer, while our opponent has no defense against that. I'm kind of debating if I should attack with the Field Creeper here. I do kind of like that idea. I feel that they do have to block that, right? Otherwise, next turn, Angel just kills them if they don't find an answer. So they have to block. Then they can offer the trade. They can trade with the Guide or the Ogre, and of course you don't just throw the 4-2 away. So they trade with their Guide. And I'm kind of confident at this point. We do have a totally lost Take Vengeance. So even if they have like a giant spider or something, then we can just put that guy back on top or something. But yeah, our opponent just drew a land. They have totally nothing to deal with this angel, and they very correctly just attack. I mean, your 4-2 ground guy is not going to do anything, so you might as well go in for some damage, maybe even get a trade out of it. But yeah, we do have the 2 Take Vengeance, so and we've totally lost. So here I make another misplay. It's really stupid, actually. I use a Take Vengeance to get rid of the Ogre, and then I attack with the Angel of the Dawn, put our opponent to 1. What I should have done here was bounce the Ogre and put him back on Skibro's deck, just on top of the library. Like, now they have a chance to draw another removal spell, draw something to deal with this angel. Luckily, they didn't. They just drew a land. But it's just kind of a stupid mistake there. And I think I did just go over that here. That I just noticed, like, oh yeah, I should have totally lost the ogre instead of destroying it. And for some reason, I don't know why, I was also during this match, maybe I'm just getting infected by that through time and space. I was just kind of making weird decisions and just generally fumbling about, not doing anything too hot. Anyway, we did get a nice 2-0. Good start of our draft against all the odds we got there. And here we are, match 2, kept this 2-lander. I mean, we do have a Take Vengeance, we do have an Encyclopedia Animator, and we did draw an Omen Speaker. So that means that we do have some ways to find more lands. We have some stuff going on, so that's pretty okay. Here's one of the things that really scares me every time I see it. It's like turn 1 Motivator. No, wait, it's turn 2 Motivator. Alright, that's a lot less scary than turn 1 Motivator. Alright, not a land unfortunately, but we can go ahead, play an Omen Speaker, and try and see if we can find some lands here. Unfortunately no lands, so I just put on both the Skyscanner and the Scholar, and pass the turn. There they go, our opponent has found their second color. And I'm kind of worried, because if they go like Menace Dude into Menace Dude, and, well, then we're just in a heap of trouble. But they played their 2-drop on turn 3, with really old sequence of events, like going their 1-drop on turn 2, their 2-drop on turn 3. But what they do here is very nice. They give their own Drill Master +2/+1 first strike, and give it haste as to get in there for 1 more point of damage. And we're not gonna block, of course. We're not about to just throw away our Omen Speaker at this point. Unfortunately, no lands. So I'm kind of debating if I should take Vengeance, something, but it doesn't really feel worth it here. So I just pause the turn, keep up Essence Scatter, and see what our opponent does. Although it has to be said, it could get quite scary if they go like the Boros sorcery that makes 2 1/1 tokens and gives the whole team +1/+1 and haste. But yeah, we're not gonna do anything against that, right? We might as well try and see if we can get rid of like a 4-drop or an awesome 2-drop or 3-drop or whatever. And yeah, here just go ahead, blow this Essence Scatter on a Goblin Instigator, because let's be real here, they just showed that either they can't cast anything better, they don't have the mana for that, or they simply don't have anything better. So, found my third land, played the Encyclopedia, because that means the next turn we can animate it and have a 5/5 on the board. So by turn 5 our opponent hasn't found their 4th land. I don't think they attack here, which makes sense of course. I mean, our 1/3 just blocks their 2/1 and kills it. But this does signify combat trick. And for some reason they just blow it ahead. Like, real aggressive play here. Before blocks, making their guy a 4/3 flyer. Get in for 4. And they pass the turn. Alright, we find our 4th land. And I go for the animator here. And our opponent is like, what? What just happened? Alright, so we do have the 5/5 here, attack with the Encyclopedia, put our opponent to 15, keep back the Omen Speaker just in case. Like, it's not far-fetched that they have like a remove spell for this this animator, and if they do, then yeah, I kind of wanna kill the Drill Master. So I keep back the Omen Speaker, and I think at this point the 1 point of damage doesn't really matter, right? So just attacking with the 5/5 is fine, and they did throw their modifier in front of it, which I felt was kind of like premature. I mean, that guy can give you a lot of value if you want to be aggressive and try and raise, right? Play your big dude, give it haste immediately, and get in there right to the face. But yeah, here's the Electrify, kills the animator. Or Encyclopedia goes back to being a non-creature artifact, and that really just makes me question their decision to throw away that motivator, but sure, whatever. Alright, Shield Mirror, really like that play. Or let's just say that draw. We're not gonna play it just yet, I think. I think I go here for the cavalry. But I attack first with the Omen Speaker. See if they want to block this guy too. Of course not, I mean, it's just 1 point of damage, right? There we go, put our opponent to 19. Play the Gallant Cavalry just because it puts some more pressure on the board, and our opponent doesn't really have anything going on at this point. Well, here our opponent plays their own Gallant Cavalry. Play a second main phase land, how edgy, and they pass the turn. Alright, here we find our 5th land, and what I do here is, I don't know if it's really, if that will really all that hold. What I end up doing here is bouncing the knight token, and then just attack with both of my knights. Like, we can get in for quite some damage, or we can trade boards. And my reasoning for that is, this basically is just a removal spell, 5 mana, kill a creature, and we very much are on the defensive here, right? But we do have 2 vigilant dudes, so if we attack, we're not losing much. If they want to get rid of our knights by blocking with theirs, that's fine too, because we are left with the only creature, right? So still, in this case, the aggressive play is pretty much the same as the defensive play, except that you get some more damage out of it. And our opponent indeed did not want to trade, and they just took 4 damage. So, having done that, we pass the turn, and see what our opponent does. Maybe I should just get some background music here. But here is the heroic reinforcement. That's the card. It's every time I see like Boros, I'm just really terrified of that card because it's just so good. So here they suddenly go from 4 power on board to 10 power on board. I mean, that's a huge difference. So in the end, I trade a token for a token, and my gallant knights for their drill master, and take 5 in the process. We don't want to lose too much life here, of course. Alright, drew a land. Luckily I do have this shield mare back to have an easy 3 life. Just a slight misplay here. You kinda don't want to play your land first before you draw the extra card here off of Encyclopedia, especially if you don't really need to play your land immediately. So I could have just waited with the island, cast the third, oh, not cast, just play the third planes. It's just a minor thing, but it's there. Alright, play Shield Mare, have a 2/3 blocker on the field, go back to 10 life, and hope that we can stabilize. Alright, Blocker Brute, which is kinda scary. 3/2 Menace is an issue given this this board. But they of course don't attack with their 2/2 and their 1/1. And that shows to me that they don't have a combat trick, and I'm kind of relieved with that. Alright, after a short pause on the second May phase, here we go, enter our turn. I think I don't think the switcheroo does really that much. We can switch like Omen Speaker for Blocker Brute, which is pretty nice, pretty nifty. But on one hand, I also want to like we have at this point we have 7 mana, so we can go Atherton on Shield Mare, then switch through the Omen Speaker for the Blocker Brute, get in for 3, put him down to 11, and have a 3/2 blocker on our field. Then we could trade for their Gallant Cavalry. So I think I'm just gonna do that. It's kind of a ballsy play. But if you don't try things, you don't get anywhere, right? So here we have a 3/3 unblockable. We attack with it. Put our opponent indeed to 11. And we pass the turn. Like, I feel that I really should have stretched the route here. This, again, it just felt like a misplay, right? So the Blocker Brute at this point, Junction, is pretty much just like unblockable. We're at basically 7 here. And yes, we can block a Gallant Cavalry, but if they attack with everything, a soldier gets through, we are basically at 6. So that's not a race we are going to win, not by a long shot. I think at this point I was really getting greedy and hoping to switch through the Omen Speaker for something larger, for something more intimidating. And here they go, Luminous Bonds, which is it's not fine. It's pretty bad for us. But draw a card in response. And we do get 3 life off of the shield mare, which is pretty nice, right? Go back up to 13. Like, I'm not really sure if this was necessary for our opponent. And they just attack with the bucket brood. Put us down to 10. But now we do have a nice switch root target. We can switch this shield mare for their bucket brood. Although I am sorely tempted to just take vengeance. Well, in the end I decided just go for a card. If we draw land we can switch through. If not we still have take vengeance and field creeper. But oh wow. In the end I go for the line breaker and the field creeper. No, the line breaker and the take vengeance. You know, one of these days I'm gonna make absolute sense. And not try and get ahead of myself with this post commentary. Alright, I'll try to kill the bucket brood here. They have the +1/+0 and indestructible, negating my take vengeance. And oh boy. Oh, for a moment I thought I had a pop-up here on screen, but on the recorded screen, but no, it's just on my end, just with the re-recording. Alright, so we have a 3-2 and a 1-3 on the ready. I think if they attack with a bucket brood, I'm gonna double block. But oof, look at this. They are getting they're getting impatient. And I decided to just empty the field a bit. And that turned out to be not a really good play. Well, I do say that. They keep a token, but the cavalry still trades with the line keeper. We lose an Iron Speaker, but yeah, that was quite a charge there. We're down to 5 life, and get an Angel of the Dawn. I'm kinda tempted to draw a card of Encyclopedia. But it feels like the best play here is go Field Creeper. And one of these days I am gonna switch through. Just not yet. Just not yet. I mean, this is pretty nice situation, right? You have a dude that is totally worthless. You can just trade it in for something your opponent has. But I decided to go for the Angel of the Dawn. Have a nice 3/3 on the board. So we can just kill the bucket brood if we want. We can also just take 3, kill the soldier if we want. But this just feels way too greedy on my part. I don't know why I just didn't get rid of the 3/2 menace here. Well, I do know that because I was really getting greedy here. But at this point I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to switch. Switch the shield mare with something else. So there we go. We draw an Ether Tunnel. Not the most exciting card to draw here. Kind of seeing if I can do everything, which, well, I can't. There we go. Switch the shield mare for the stack, so ungulate for ungulate. And we draw a card. Again, I think the sequencing is a bit off there. Should have drawn a card first and then play switch through, just to have all options available to us. Yeah, we draw a Manolith, not exciting at all. So at this point, I don't really feel like attacking. We are very much on the defensive here. So getting in there just kind of feels awkward. Like if they just draw a removal spell and remove the stack, we're just left with the 2-1. They get it in for 3, and that's just a 2-turn clock. So we draw a land, nothing interesting. Correct sequencing, draw a card first before doing anything else. Draw a second island. Alright, that's not interesting at all. So I'm really pondering if I should just play this after tunnel on one of the dudes and see if I can get aggressive here. I mean, just waiting, hoping they don't draw the removal spell. That's not gonna get us anywhere, right? So at some point I will have to start stacking, but yeah, I think at this point I just didn't feel certain. I passed the turn and see what our opponent does. See, Rusping Falcon, that's kind of an awkward play for us. I mean, we're at 5 life, right? We're not raising anything. So just the given fact that even though it's like a 1-2, just the given fact that our opponent has a flyer here is kind of put us in an awkward spot. But here they do choose to attack with the Pocket Brute. Interestingly enough, we know they don't have a combat trick, because if they had one, they would have attacked last turn. So we just block with Field Creeper and Stack, and I wouldn't mind trading in the Stack for their 3-2 with semi evasion. Yeah, they ordered the crown up front, the crown stack up front, and no combat trick. We just trade here. Totally fine with me. Alright, so if they don't have anything else, I kind of feel better about the situation here, because they just have a 1-2 and a 1-1 on the field right now, and that's not too scary at this point, right? So drawing another land here, using the encyclopedia to dig a bit deeper, finding a Take Vengeance, which is fine with me. And I think at this point I will tunnel the Angel of the Dawn. Oh, that sounds horribly wrong. I'm gonna tunnel you! Ah! No, Senpai, don't! Oh, I don't even tunnel. I just attack with a 3-3 here. Kind of feels like a mistake here, because them being at 11 life, attacking with a 3-3, that's a 4-turn clock. Attacking with a 4-3, though, that is a 3-turn clock. But now they're at 11, right? So at this point, if we add the tunnel, it's still like a 3-turn clock. Unfortunately, they did find another Luminous Bonds. And they incapacitate our Angel. And they're going to attack for 1 in the air. So we go down to 4. Opponent still has 1 card in hands. And we just keep drawing lands here. Alright, so I'm just really fumbling around with tapping our lands. And yet another land, of course. Yeah. Why not? Why not? So we take Vengeance the Falcon, kill the Flyer. And here I am just, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's make this Field Creeper a 3-1 attack with it. That's a 3-turn clock, right? Our opponent only has a 1-1. That is a 4-turn clock. So if our opponent really doesn't have a way to deal with this dude, with this little creeper, we are just going to win this race. Right, I don't see any point in playing this Manolith. Just pass the turn. I actually should have done this. No, wait. I'm thinking... during the commentary, yeah, we still have Animator. I should just play this Manolith, make sure it doesn't have summoning sickness by the time that we find our Animator. But of course, our Animator has been played long before and dies long ago, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so they attack for 1 here, put us down to 3, and here we are in really an awkward spot, right? Because they have the 3-2 Menace. So we are just dead on board. I'm drawing another card, finding an Angel of the Dawn, and that's pretty good. This is really good. Now we can give our 3-1 Vigilance, get in there for 4, put our opponent to 1, and then play a second Field Creeper. And then we have all the blockers in the world, and I don't think they can kill us from that range. And we have lethal on board. So there we go. Put our opponent to 1, play this field creeper, and pass the turn. Yep, and here are our opponent's scoops. Obviously drew nothing to deal with this board. And I was like, yeah, let's just let them just have this. Alright, so I'll bring in Invoke here to deal with the bonds. Take out the Skyscanner. It's just a 1/1 for 3. I know a lot of people value the Skyscanner real high, but I'm just not a big fan of it. I do see here that I have 16 lands in the deck instead of 17 like I mentioned earlier. Do bring in the Daybreak Chaplain. It comes down early. It is lifelink. Pretty okay. It's not the 2/2 Bishop, but or the Unicorn. Do take out the Scholar of Stars. I mean, not having this Skyscanner in the deck makes the Scholar a bit worse. For some reason, put this Skyscanner back in. I really don't know why I did that. I guess this is one of my other brain farts, but I think just because we do have Animated, we do have Artificer, I value it a bit more highly than Scholar of Stars, plus it do has some build-in evasion. Alright, let me just wait for our opponent to submit their deck as well. Well, I'm ready here with my 16 land 41 special deck. Well, I've gotten real greedy lately with regards to mana base and how I built my curve. It's really just whew. Then again, we do have like 10 2-drops, so here's the thing. In the end, do decide to take out the Manolith. And I should resub, right? Why am I not resubbing here? Yeah, I totally forgot to resub here. So we end up with the 41 deck, 41 card deck, and alright, finding 2 islands in Omen Speaker. I think I'm gonna decide to keep this hand. Yeah, we can dig for planes with this Omen Speaker. Plus, it does block quite well. Alright, there's the turn 1 motivator. Good start for our opponent. There we go. Naturally draw the planes. Pass the turn after playing an island. And see what our opponent does. If they go Pyromancer here, that's a real good 1-2 punch. Really love that play. Is that Drill Master? Basically the same thing as what they did last game, except 1 turn sooner. So here they go. Make it a 4/1 first strike. Get in there. Put us down to 16. Like in this regard, the red-white aggro deck has quite a clock, and it can have some blazing fast starts. All right, Daybreak Chaplain. Seeing as we don't really need to dig for a land at this point, I'm kind of partial to playing the 1/3 lifelink here. Accidentally clicked the switcheroo. There we go, 1/3 lifelinker. Blocks both of these guys for days while preserving our life total, or actually increasing it. So our opponent plays his second planes. Goes Bogger Brute. It's slightly awkward for us. Of course they give it haste. Attack for 3, put us down to 13. And we find a Take Vengeance. So I take care of the 3/2 Menace immediately. And pause the turn. I'm sorry guys, I've been talking for, let's see, an hour and 15 minutes. And I forgot to bring a drink with me. Quite awkward. I really should find a way to do this. Oh, Valiant Knight. That's a scary dude. To do this. But as I was saying, I should find a way to do this more efficient and not have to record this in one go. But Drill Master turns into 3-2. Makes it hard to block for our 1-3, of course. So they attack. I don't know why they didn't give their knights, their Valiant Knight haste. I guess they kind of skipped over that. And they just decided not to attack at all. Alright, we drew Angel of the Dawn. Not really what we were looking for. Kind of felt that we had to dig for a land here. And that's exactly what we do. And there we go, final land. We bottom the stack, put the plane on top, and this is kind of a bad situation here. If they have all the lands, they can make their guys all go double strike on our asses, and well, that's not good. And then we can't even profitably block anything. But yeah, this is a scary board set our opponent has here. Alright, I go for the Gallant Cavalry. 4 mana, 6 power on the board. That's quite a thing. And they give it haste before the before the ability of the ETB effect of the Gallant Cavalry even resolves. Alright, attack with the 3-2, 3-4, and a 3-3. So I could jump. I feel like I want to get rid of the 3-2 here, so I'm just gonna block with both the Chaplain and the Own Speaker. Trade Drill Master for one of those. Obviously, they just go ahead and kill the Chaplain. Though our opponent is taking their sweet time. There we go. So I'm still really scared of this Valiant Knight. And potential to give all their dudes double strike. Alright, drew the land, played a line breaker. So now we can at least yeah, and this is basically the point where I realize we're just dead on board, right? Like we're gonna have to jump here, and they can just give their team double strike if they draw lands. So in the worst case scenario, we jump Knight, we jump the Gallant Cavalry. They give their team double strike. We take 7 damage, go to 1, and they lose just a Gallant Cavalry or a token. They have to go for heroic reinforcements. So now we just can't really do anything. We're just pretty much dead here. So scoop it up. And go for our sideboard options. And that gives me the moment to grab a drink real quick. Ah, there we go. Back for game 3. Oh boy, I'm such a professional YouTuber streamer, right? He's walking away during his own recordings to grab himself a drink. Anyway, we keep this hand. We have some early stuff to play. We have Attack Vengeance, and there we go. Play a Field Creeper. Kind of hoping to get a lance here, just to be able to cast this Shield Mare, eventually switcheroo. And this is basically one of the reasons why I kept this hand, you know, like, switching a Field Creeper for something like a Valiant Knight seems really good, right? But unfortunately, no lance. And I've got the dog behind me craving attention. Just really like, oh, can you throw this ball? No, I'm not gonna throw the ball. Not yet. Alright, our opponent plays a Goblin Instigator, which is quite effective against our Field Creeper. They can just trade one of their 1/1s, their token, for our 2/1. Luckily we drew a plane here, so I play a Shield Mare, which is actually unblockable on this field. And I quite like that. So, go back up to 23. And I do feel that we have some time here. They haven't played a Motivator. So not really scary of, you know, a sudden attack with like a 3/2 or a 3/3 out of nowhere. It took our opponents back from Austria. I think it's Austria. I mean, it could be Australia, but yeah, given the moment where I was recording, I think Austria seems more likely, given that's basically the same time zone, right? Maybe give or take an hour or something, or two, maybe. I'm not really sure, but they played Luminous Bonds on our mare. Like, if you want to incapacitate any of my smaller dudes, sure, go ahead and buy. Oh, and really, Parker. The dog starts growling in the background because he's playing with his toys. He's like, rah, rah, toy. Oh dear. I'm so professional here. But yeah, they bonded our 2/3, gave us another 3 life. Knocked 2 off of that with their attack. But that gave us the opportunity to attack back, put down to 18. Play our own Gavin Calorie, put 4/4 on the board. I'm just gonna remove the dog real quick from the room. Out you go. Out you go. Yeah, so much for smooth recording here. And now he's scratching at the door. Ah, stupid dog. Alright, so go ahead here, switch through the Shield Mare for the Inferno Healing, and that actually makes more noise than him growling. Alright, sorry people, sorry. Had to lock the dog up in the in the living room. Well, lock up is a big word. Just put him in the living room, close the door. As easy as that. Anyway, attack with everything here. I feel that we can get quite aggressive here. They can trade their Instigator and the Golden Token for a 2/2 Knight, but they opted instead to trade their 1/1 for a 2/1, taking 4 damage in the process. Now we've got a board here, 2 2/2s and a 7/3 that, well, if we attack with it, we're gonna lose it, but it's bound to do some damage. Alright, they decided to electrify their own Inferno Helion, which I quite like to see. That's pretty epic. I mean, that switcheroo basically was a 2/4. Actually, with the Luminous Bonds, it's a 3/4/1, right? So here we attack with both of the knights. They chump, interestingly enough. Yeah, I'm really intrigued by that block there. I was like, do you have a 1-mana combat trick or something? But no, they didn't have anything. I was like, if you have a shock, you just shock right there, right? You don't need to block. But yeah, just that. Play a Field Creeper, pass the turn, and here they go with their own Gallant Cavalry. Both of these mirrors are quite something. Alright, we just attack with everything. I feel that we are on the offensive here. Sure, we can trade knights. That's all fine with me. They go down to 10. Plus, our take vengeance is kind of dead at this point, so I just want to get these vigilance dudes off the board. So I'm offering this trade. Our opponent takes it. They've shown to be quite block happy. Play one of the lands and pass the turn. And I'm honestly not all that. I'm not feeling too secure about this match. I mean, we only have a 2-1 on the board right here, and our opponent honestly is only at 5 minutes. So in worst case scenario, we are at 24. We can just try and stall out the game. Alright, here they go, Star Crown stack, which is a great find for our opponent. At 3-3 blocks our creeper for days, but unfortunately they can't stay on the defensive. Here we go, totally lost, really cool. Kinda debating with myself if I want to totally lost my own shield mare just to be able to stall our opponent out here. I mean, getting back at 2-3 and getting 3 life, that seems okay. That's just negating an attack, that's just fogging, right? Here they go, Sarkon. Really nifty. But, oh, and a 3-2. So, kind of wondering why these were at all costs earlier. They played really defensive, our opponent, for the Boros aggressive attack, right? They found that they could be really aggressive. And here they made a similar mistake to mine. Like looting. Oh, wait, no. Oh, man, that's really awkward. I was like looting after playing everything, but in the end they didn't loot. They just opted to not discard anything. Alright, so they attack with a 3-3, tapping our field creeper. I'm not sure, this is fine. I'll take 3, go to 21. You only have 4 minutes, good sir. I'm fine with this. You're gonna have to do a lot before, deal a lot of damage before you're able to, you know, kill us. So, what I should do here is just totally lost one of their dudes, right? Don't think the life really matters here. So I end up totally losing the Bugger Brute. I think I should have gone for the stack and offered them the trade by attacking with the field creeper. But we do have a take vengeance, so just gonna kill everything they have. Attack with the field creeper, go at Sarkon. At this point, I'm not really worried about their life total. I mean, Sarkon does give them the option to dig for answers to our board. And yeah, here again, I may do things in the wrong sequence. Should have played the Skyscanner first, and then take vengeance. Because if we had drawn something that we would have wanted to do, something like, I don't know, draw an angel or something. No, we couldn't have cast that. You know, something like 4 drop or something. We might have wanted to play that instead of the take vengeance. But yeah, in the end, so be it. Our opponent activates the +1 ability. Still doesn't discard anything. We draw an islands. I had to tunnel the Skyscanner here, I think. I kind of didn't want to go get blown out by like the combat trick. I could have made my field creeper a 3-1 unblockable, and just send that at Sarkon and attack backs with a 1-1 flyer. But I just wanted to diversify my threats here a bit. 2-1 and then a 2-1. Okay, not all that impressive, but it'll do the trick at this moment. So, go for the Sarkon here, kill the Sarkon. They just didn't have anything. And we pass the turn. So, with this, our opponent is on a 3-turn clock. While our opponent's... yeah, our opponent really can't say the same, right? But here they show us the second Star Crown stack, which is pretty good. Attack is for 3, put us down to 18. And suddenly, our opponent also has a 3-turn clock. So here I go for Line Breaker. Bluff a cancel. Not that it really matters, because they know we don't have a cancel, but yeah. Opt to not attack. And you see we can stall the game until the timer of our opponent runs out. I don't think raising at this point really does anything. I mean, we're just holding back a lance. And given our record, we're just gonna draw more lands. So kind of want to just stall out here. All right. Predictably, they tap down our Loxodon Line Breaker. So now we can either trade our 2 artifacts dude for a Bucket Brute or a Star Crown Stag. And I end up going for the 3/3 here, killing that thing. See if our opponent has anything. Well, they're ordering blocker, so obviously I don't think so. Otherwise you wouldn't bother with that. But suddenly, 4 mana. Like, if they have something here, I do think they showed us a inspired charge earlier, so they could just have that. Just drawn that off the tippy top. But they are really taking their time to cast it, right? The seconds are just wasting away, just ticking down. And I get past priority. I don't know what happened there. But they just stepped down for 4 and did not do anything with it. The mana was just wasted. I feel that our opponent is a bit tilted. Seconds, take down again. And unless they can cast something here, suddenly the situation is very, very favorable and a very good draw here indeed. Play this Angel, make her Loxodon Line Breaker a 4/3 attack for 4, and keep 2 blockers back. So my feeling here is this is basically just the end. We're still at 9 minutes 20 seconds. Our opponent is at 1 minute. They have to deal with both of our creatures, and they have to deal with our 15 life. And that all in the span of less than a minute. So they really, I don't know if their connection is bad, or they're busy with something else, or they're double queuing, but they are taking their time. Like, it took 11 seconds for this Angel to come down, and for its ETB effect to resolve. But there we go, attack for 4, put our opponent back from us to 6, we're gonna pass the turn here. So our opponent played a land here. Is paying costs. Just a Drill Master, okay, sure. You can give your Bucket Brute +5, +0, and first strike. It's really interesting to see what they have in hand, because at some point they just maybe they were just trying to psych us into scooping, like tapping down for like showing that they have the inspired charge, or just pretending to have that, or they were just trying to heroic reinforcement at instant speed. I'm not really sure, but it might should be that. Anyway, this is quite a thing here. They gave their own Drill Master +2/+0 and first strike, but they only have 5 seconds here. That's really interesting to note. So I could just block both soldiers. Take 9, go to 6, and then they have to draw an answer to whatever. For some reason, I end up going for the Bucket Brute. in the end, it doesn't really matter, right? If we let these soldiers go through, then they end up being 1-1s. That's actually better for us defensively than allowing the brute to live. Although in the end, if we had blocked the soldiers, our 3-3 would still be alive, if so needed. But our opponent was just like, yeah, I have 4 seconds to win this game, so it's not gonna happen. It's fine. I'm just gonna scoop here. So going 2-0 at this point, feeling pretty good, despite despite that the deck was, it's just all over the place, right? It doesn't know if it wants to be a control deck, it doesn't know if it wants to be an artifact deck, it doesn't know if it wants to be aggressive or not. It's just really weird, but that's really the set, right? Sometimes this in these drafts you can go ahead, find yourself having a really unfocused deck, but just getting there, because it just can't just switch in a moment's notice. But yeah, kind of waiting for the next match to start. And there we are in a bit. So, match 3, kind of an interesting hand here. Only 2 lands, but we do have Manolith, Skyscanner, and Encyclopedia in hand with the Animator. So, just based on that, I'm kind of willing to give this hand the pass. So, we keep it our opponent's a Tilly 11, Moss to 6. I didn't recall if they kept the card on top, but they went first, played a mountain. And we do have some time to... there's the third land. Very nice indeed. So we play the island here, pass the turn back, and see what our opponent does. Double mountain. Always happy to not see the motivator very early. All right, kind of an okay draw here. Essence Scatter. So play a plains, pass the turn, keep up Essence Scatter. Next turn we can either go Sky Scanner or something like that, or Manolith into Animator. So our opponent's third land, an island, and steal nothing. Alright, interesting. Field Creeper late to the party. We play for 3 mana a let's see, what are we gonna play here? I think it was a Sky Scanner. Ended up going for Manolith and pass the turn. So I think in the end I should have played the Sky Scanner just to dig for a land or something. But here our opponent goes into Aven Windmage. That's a turn 4, so that just signaled they just drew that. So either they have a handful of counter spells or removal spells, but I just go for the Animator anyway. You know, it's fine if they blow it up. We can make our Manolith a 5/5, get in for 5 damage. Or, you know, kill a Wind Mage with it. But yeah, attack for 5. See if we can put our opponent to 15. I mean, if they have the remove spell, again, I don't think you should block this 5/5 just at this point in the game. You can just easily go to 15 and get out ahead. Alright, so here they go. Electrifying the Animator, pumping their Wind Mage in the process, and attacking back for 3. Alright, Shieldmare. This is that's not bad. That's just some 3 life. Here we go, Gallant Cavalry, just to represent the threat. I mean, we are ahead in terms of life, and this is just 4 power, 4 toughness on the board that at some point they must deal with. Here they go, Gutter Snipe into shock. This is a really good sequence for our opponent. So they deal with a 2/2, deals 2 damage, and they can attack for a 3. So here got kind of distracted by something, I don't know what even. But our opponent is looking appears to have a deck that really fitting together. Lots of instant and sorceries matter stuff like Gutter Snipe and the Wind Mage. Those work really well with removal, right? Those in and of itself, 3-mana 2/2s become very relevant threats with, a lot of burn, with some tempo cards, counter spells. And that's really hard to deal with, especially if you don't have any creatures that really get around the removal. But then again, we do have a Shield Mare, so even if they go like, killed with a Lightning Strike, deal you 2, then, we do gain 3 life, so we still end up going ahead by 1 life point. But yeah, here I'm back. I'm gonna take 3 here. Go down to 12. Accept the turn. And let's see what we draw here. Islands. Alright, that's not too shabby. Not too shabby. So, it gives us some options. We have, we can play a 3-drop, keep up Essence Scatter, or play a 3-drop and a 2-drop. First, we attack with this Knights, offer the trade. They're definitely not gonna do that. They have no reason to do that. They can safely go to 13. Play our land. Play the Shield Mare. Go back up to 15. And I ended up deciding to keep up Essence Scatter. Alright, our opponent goes straight to combat, attacks in the air with the 2/2. Kinda interesting to see that. Play a land, only have 2 cards in hand while we still have 5 in hand. So I'm actually kind of feel okay with this situation. Before I do anything, I don't really see a point to use Eternal right here and right now. Because I kind of don't like it against the deck with probably infinite removal. Or disruption. So just attack for 4. See if they want to trade their Gutter Snipe this time. They don't, so they just take 4, go to 9. At this point, play an Omen Speaker. And then still have mana up for Sky Scanner and or Essence Scatter if I choose so. But here they go ahead. Essence Scatter. No Bone Ash even. Look at that. Get rid of our dude. Deals 2 damage, draw a card. That is just some synergy right there. And I chose to keep up Essence Scatter because it feels like in the end we are gonna win this race. As it is right now, we are ahead. Alright, Inferno Hylian. I'm like, no, never, don't breathe, don't come down on this board. So I'm just gonna counter that 7/3. That's a real scary dude. Even if it shuffles itself back, it is a sizable gentleman that does a lot of damage. So there we go. Counter the Inferno Hylian. Take 2 from the Even Wind Mage, and see if we can get the turn. If they pass it, and they pass, they keep up double blue. So they might be having the cancel, or they're just bluffing it. First of all, I'm just gonna attack here, see if we can get him for 4, put our opponent to 5, and it looks like we can do just that. Play the Sky Scanner. That resolves. We get a Line Breaker, which I'm pretty happy about. So let's just play some dudes, see if we can flood the board and push through for damage. And also resolves. Very nice. So the 3 mana plus. That's just bluff. They had nothing. Alright, so here our opponent is facing with quite a big board. They apparently drew a land, so even if they get rid of one dude, they're still quite in a bad spot here. Do you like this color of stars here? So we can ether tunnel something and cast this color of stars and draw a card. So first we do this color. See if they have a counterspell this time. No, it resolves. Very nice. Draw land. And play the lands. And then Ether Tunnel on the Shield Mare. And the reason I do it on the Shield Mare, not on the Sky Scanner, even though that may just be objectively a thing. It makes it so that these guys can at least kill the Evening Wind Mage on defense. But sure, if they wanted to do something to deal with the Shield Mare, like a bounce it in this case, we would gain 3 life. And that felt also really, really valuable here. So sure, Wind Mage becomes a 3/3. Our Shield Mare becomes a, well, gone dude. Back to the top of our deck, we gain 1 life net, because we also took 2 from the Gutter Snipe. And at this point, I'm just attacking with the Line Breaker. Like if you want to trade with the Gutter Snipe, it's fine. If you want to trade with the Wind Mage, it's also fine. So we sent the little Elephant Soldier to the front line into the red zone, and indeed they block with the Gutter Snipe. Kind of happy with that, and we pass the turn. So this feels pretty safe. They had 0 cards after the shenanigans with Totally Lost, so they have 1 card here. Next turn we do draw our Shield Mare, go back up to 13 if they don't attack. Let's see, Lava Axe. Ooh, scary. Really scary. Alright, so go down to 5. If they attack, we go down to 2, but they don't have any cards in hand, so kind of awkward. There we go, Shield Mare. Go back up to 8 immediately. Let's not waste any time with that. And we just win. They just scooped after that. Alright, so prepping for a game 2. Apparently, I didn't feel the need to change anything. And I think that's pretty fine. We only saw 2 creatures, which is a lot of burn. We don't have any ways to really deal with it outside of Mighty Leap, but I'm not just gonna bring in Mighty Leap in hopes to negate something like a Shock or an Electrify incidentally. Plus, if most of their creatures are like tiny, then I feel it's just fine. We don't really need the combat trick. Alright, kept this hand. It is really awkward, but I didn't want to mull to 5. Plus, I was distracted by other stuff. Get the 2/1 on top. Our opponent played a Mountain. Passed the turn. Evidently, not a motivator deck. By passing the turn, I mean just hanging around their second main phase for a bit. There we go. There's that Field Creeper, play an island, pass the turn. So next turn we do have a 2/1. Alright, so they play an island, nothing else. I'm kinda unsure at this point if I should have kept up Essence Scatter, but I was like, yeah, let's just go for the threat here. If they want to waste a shock on it, so be it. If nothing else. It's just a 2/1 that can get some damage in. So play the Field Creeper, and indeed our opponent just insta shocks it, which is fine. Like if they have more than one gutter snipe, like they evidently have some creatures that work really well with instant and sorceries, and was like, yeah, you know what, let's get this out of their hand if they have it, so it doesn't trigger like a +1/+1, or it doesn't trigger to our face. And then they showed us this Enigma Drake, and that was kind of awkward, because that just works with the instant sorceries regardless where it is, right? If they just play it down the line, or if they just play it early, it is really good with this stuff. So I play a Mandalit. Our opponent just next leveled us with a Smelt, attacks with a 2/4, missing a land drop in the process, and here we go. Kinda, yeah, I'm just play the Starcrown Stag here. I could take Vengeance and keep up Essence Scatter. I kind of want to get 3/3 down, and we haven't seen any counter spells except Bone to Ash, so I'm pretty sure that the stag just resolves. Next turn we can still probably just take Vengeance and keep up Essence Scatter if you don't draw any gas. Alright, we're being attacked again by the Drake in the air, dropping down to 16. Got our turn, find a Field Creeper. We have no real reason to not attack with this stack, so we just do that. Like, I really shouldn't tap down this gutter snipe here. It's a really annoying dude, so yeah, I'm discussing that here. I should have targeted the Enigma Drake and offered our opponent Tilly the blocks. Like, if they block, sure, I'll happily trade that the damage over for the 2/2. I end up killing the Enigma Drake in the end, nonetheless, because, well, they have been missing some land drops, and the 2/4 does seem more dangerous than the 2/2. Like, if they're just missing land drops and not doing anything else, then I think it's just fine. But here they go, Sure Strike. I don't really recall them playing that in the first game, and they might have done that. I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I think that was a previous opponent, but here they go, trading in a Sure Strike for Field Creeper and dealing us 2 in the meantime, which is pretty good for them. Here we go, Frilled Sea Serpent. We can't cast that just yet, so I'm just attacking back. If we draw a land, I think if we can land this Sea Serpent, we are in a pretty good spot. I don't think they really have the means to deal with Sea Serpent outside of something like a Fiery Finisher, but there's still a few turns of casting that. Alright, so they have a tap land, and they cast for 4 mana Inferno Helion, and I'm again like, nope, never. That's never coming on the board. Second Inferno Helion we saw here in this match. Second time we countered it. Really like it. Take Vengeance. All right, not the most exciting thing to do. We attack here. Tap down the Goblin. Get in for 3. And we kill the Goblin. Just to prevent some damage with more burn or removal shenanigans. So here they electrify our Starcrown Stag. So both of our boards are empty now, although our opponent is ahead 1 card in hand. Kind of awkward drawing this animator here with no artifacts on board. We already lost 3 of them. So I think we do have Encyclopedia in the deck, we do have Skyscanner in the deck. But I just run out this animator. I'm just not gonna wait till we draw something. So I'm just gonna run out this 1/3 and have something on the board. Which may be a hasty play, but it's better than nothing, right? So here our opponent goes Even Wind Guide. And we draw an Omen Speaker, which I do quite like. Or we can dig for something more useful or lands to play this Sea Serpent. Alright, so Angel of the Dawn. Kinda wanna keep that. Kinda wanna keep the planes as well. So next turn, draw the planes, play the Frilled Sea Serpent. Turn after that, get the Angel. If all resolved, we can get in for quite a bit of damage there. Get quite a good attack. So, we'll see. We'll see. Try to pass the turn here. And there we go, our opponent goes ahead. Going into combat, not attacking, which I feel is a good sign. They don't have anything to do with this board apparently, and I'm just pretty sure that I can run out this Frilled Sea Serpent. And we only saw one Bone to Ash. I don't know how many counter spells they have, but apparently they didn't have one in their hand at this point. I'm quite happy. I feel okay. Attack with both of the 1/3s, so we can get at least 1 point of damage in. There we go, they block the animator. And go ahead and disperse these stupid sea serpents and eating our animator. Not too pleased with that, but this kind of got me scared. I'm quite terrified of the tempo plays and then the removal of the red blue deck. Alright, Leva X to the face. And this is really interesting. I wonder why they didn't play this before attacking. They could have put us to 6, but instead, well, it's fine. Here I play Angel of the Dawn just to have a blocker on the field for the stupid Wind Mage. If they don't have a removal spell, then it should hold down the fort pretty well. Attack for 2 on the ground with the Omen Speaker, put our opponent to 8. And for next turn we still have this Frilled Sea Serpent. Alright, here's a Mystic Archaeologist, and quite annoyed by seeing that card because, well, we're sort of at a stalemate here. We don't really have a lot going on, but you're not drawing 2 cards too, that's a lot. That's really scaring me. But we take a turn. Shieldmare, I don't hate seeing that, that's just 3 life in the bin. Kind of tempted to play the Sea Serpent, attack with both the Angel and the Omen Speaker. If they are gonna go ahead and draw 2 cards, that is, chances are they find something, right? So just attack with the Angel here. Get in for 3. Play the Shieldmare. Go up to 10. Just feel a little bit safer. Just feel a little bit safer. All of our dudes are basically just bigger than our opponents, right? So I'm not really looking to assert my dominance by playing a 4/6 here. All right, so drew 3 cards in a span of 1 end step and 1 upkeep, or 1 draw step. So really scared of what our opponent might have. They've shown to be quite versatile, quite a lot of action and answers. So one of the cards is a land that kind of happy to see that, and a large Gearsmith Guardian. This is just oof, 5/5 for 5. Good draw for our opponent. Really good draw. Unfortunately, it's not going to do anything against our Angel. All right, I'm holding the land here, attacking for 3. And they block. And it's just a chump. They don't have anything to pump their Aven Wind Mage. And here we go, Frilled Sea Serpent. Hope they don't have the cancel. They haven't showed us a cancel just yet, so it resolves indeed. So we're in a pretty good situation. Yes, they can draw a lot of cards, but and they do just that, go back up to 4 cards. But we can block the 5/5, right? So show us to have 1 land. Still 4 mana up. And I'm just really scared that they have like a burn spell to deal with the Sea Serpent. Like, it could very well that they attack with their the Gearsmith into our 4/6, and then have the burn spell to finish it off, and then we're like, oh, awkward. And at this point in the game, I'm just way too terrified of that. I'm just not paying attention to our opponent life total, and just being way too defensively. So we draw a Line Breaker. And I'm not about to make the Sea Serpent unblockable here. Yes, it is lethal on board. But if they have another Disperse or something, we just wasted the turn. And we just paid 7 mana to make a 4/6 unblockable. Couldn't do anything with that. Giving our opponent another turn to get in there. But that's the issue. That's the issue. If we don't do that, they still get another turn. And here they show us the shock. Of course, they really couldn't have attacked with the Gearsmith Guardian. So my thoughts are just fumbling all around and making poor decisions. I was just way too terrified, but I was way too much thinking, like, what if they have something? Even though those thoughts weren't rational at all. I should should have gone for the kill there, not being worried. But unfortunately, I got too caught up in my, I don't know. I'm just too many times traumatized by the by the blue-red deck. So here they bounce the Angel. Back to the tippy top of the deck. And I suspect to have like the Bone to Ashes in hand at this point. They're just keeping up a counterspell. So of course I could just play Angel of the Dawn, attack with everything, and swing for lethal. I can also show them finally the land, make a Sea Serpent unblockable, just bank on them having a counterspell, and attack for the win. And your opponent is just like asking me like incredulously, like, what were you doing? Why were you keeping that land and why didn't you go for the kill earlier? And I was like, yeah, well, if you had a bounce spell, we would have been in trouble. And this is a major brain fart, because no, we would not have been in trouble. That's just stupid mistake on my part. And I even went as far as trying to justify that, not realizing that, well, pretty bad, pretty sad. Shouldn't have done that. But or at least I should have just gone for the kill there. Anyway, this is the end. We ended up going 3-0 with a deck that in the end I think is really bad actually. But yeah, we did it. We got there. Before we close off this video, I'm just gonna say one thing to you guys. I'm gonna do a short Q&A video in a bit. That's also slightly well, it's only partly Q&A. It's one half Q&A. It's one part channel update. So just gonna talk a bit about things that I want to do in the future aside from Magic, and I really would value your input if you are interested, if you're still watching this despite my bad commentary and despite my unprofessional attitude so far and whatnot. So you know, keep an eye out for that. I'm not saying it's gonna be uploaded like tomorrow or even next week, but it's gonna be uploaded very soon. So I just say keep an eye out for that. Listen to what I have to say if you like my channel, and you know, let me know your thoughts. You know, just add your 2 cents. Anyway, yeah, if you do like these videos, be sure to leave a like on the video. You know, it just gives me some incentive to keep on going. Leave a comment if you like. Sub if you haven't already done so. Just give me some incentive to keep going on. And at least I want to thank you guys for watching and just being there for me. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. So yeah, cheerio.